Hi everyone, it's Stephanie, and welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Steph. Okay, can we laugh for a second? Because lately, I've been catching myself thinking about the version of me that used to rush through life. Like my nervous system was driving, my inner child was holding the wheel, and Google Maps had already given up on me. I'm talking about waking up exactly at the time I was supposed to leave the house. No buffer, no softness, chaos. Adrenaline already high, coffee in hand, heart racing, and honestly, I couldn't even tell if it was the caffeine or my cortisol level fighting for their life. I must have looked crazy, like sprinting through my morning, hair in full, I woke up like this mode, throwing on clothes, mentally already late for everything, and acting like this was just normal. And I used to think that energy meant I was productive, motivated, strong. Gee, little did I know. I was rushing through life so much. I thought Botox was part of my self care routine. But turns out I didn't need Botox. I just needed to stop rushing. But now that I'm older, softer, more grounded, I realized I wasn't energized. I was dysregulated. So today, I want to talk about the things I used to do constantly that now make me laugh. The beliefs I fully believed back then about love, work, and life that I've completely outgrown. The behaviors I stopped that instantly brought me to peace. And the things I no longer explain because I trust myself now. So, this episode is playful, funny, honest, and a little spicy. And it's for anyone who's realizing, wow, I have changed. And thank God. Bueno, no hay más nada que decir. Here we go. I really believed rushing was just who I was. Fast mornings, fast decisions, fast reactions, fast yeses. Everything felt urgent, even things that weren't important. I wore busyness like a badge of honor. If I was tired, overwhelmed, doing everything for everyone, I thought that meant I was doing life right. And hey, if you like to live your life like that, that's okay. Everybody has their preferences. I just can't. It was recently that I noticed how much of this behavior bothers me now. Like, two quick examples. The other day, I was talking to a friend. I was telling her how amazing my mornings are, how slow they are, and how peaceful they feel. And she was like, girl, if I have to be out of the house by 8, I'm sleeping in until 7:30. My sleep is priceless. And listen, she has 2 kids, so I get it. Sleep is precious, and I don't blame her. But I've heard stories like that recently, and instead of relating, my chest just feels heavy. I was like, oh no, old me trying to clock back in. It reminded me of back in the day and how I no longer want to live rushed like that. And hey, it's just my preference. I could even see myself looking crazy like the chicken from Moana, if you know what I'm talking about. Eyes popping out, hair all up. And looking back, I just wasn't present. I wasn't even inside my body half of the time. I was surviving my own schedule. And the crazy part, I didn't know there was another way. Because when you're used to the noise, stillness can be so unsettling. Now, here's one I believe with my whole chest. If I do everything for everyone, I'll always be the good one. The reliable one, the strong one, the one people could count on. And don't get me wrong, I'm loving and I care deeply. But somewhere along the way, I confused overgiving with being valuable. I also thought that tapping into my masculinity was sexy, but not masculinity in how I dress, but in how I carried everything alone. And for a while there, that became normal. Like, I got it. I'll handle it. I don't need help. I am Miss Independent. CEO energy. And listen, that version of me got things done, but she was tired. And honestly, it made people around me uncomfortable sometimes, even in relationships. Because the truth is, I was always wired to be like that. And maybe I wanted everyone around me to feel safe because I had to fight for my own to get where I got. But it wasn't a way to live. I've always loved being feminine. I just didn't know how to tap into that. And don't get me wrong, I'm the girly type in many ways. I know how to put myself together and look cute. But my personality wanted to always do it all. I just didn't know how to receive it yet. I didn't know how to be taken care of without feeling like I was going to turn myself into a beast or something like that. I really thought that accepting people or slowing down meant losing control. But now I know that I want to be a lady. I want ease and I want to receive support without questioning it. And I'm learning slowly, imperfectly, how to let that in. Now, if there's one behavior I stopped that instantly gave me peace, do you guys want to guess what is? Rushing. Rushing conversations, rushing decisions, rushing emotions, rushing to explain myself. I stopped treating life like an emergency because honestly, not everything needs a response right now. Not every text needs a paragraph, and not every feeling needs to be processed in real time. And guess what? Not every decision needs to be rushed either. And that goes for everything. I used to move like everything was urgent, heart racing, mind spinning, body tense. Like life wasn't a constant fire drill, and I was both the emergency and the solution. And when I stopped rushing, my body softened, my shoulders dropped, and my breathing slowed. My mind finally caught up to my soul. My intuition got louder because when you're not rushing, you actually hear yourself. I realized how much clarity lives in pausing. And the crazy part, peace didn't make my life slower. It made it clearer. And peace, it followed me right there. I want to give a little attention to what I no longer explain or justify. And this one is a big one for me. I no longer explain pretty much anything. Decisions, timing, boundaries. Especially when I know I made the choice from a grounded place. Because for a long time, I spent a lot of my time explaining what I needed and what I wanted in life. And a lot of the time, I felt misunderstood and underappreciated. In fact, sometimes I was even called crazy. Too much. I understand now that maybe those people didn't fully know me or respected me, or maybe they just didn't truly value me. I don't need everyone to understand me anymore. I need to understand myself. And that shift changed everything. And that's confidence. And I realized the people who do value you, the ones who accept you for who you are, will love and support you through your changes, your challenges, and they'll grow with you without giving up. Understanding myself gave me more peace than explaining myself ever did. And I don't need agreement to feel grounded anymore. Here's what I know now. I don't have to do everything to be worthy. I don't have to carry everything to be strong. And I don't have to rush to be successful. I can move slower and be more aligned. I can be softer and be more powerful. I can receive and still be me. And honestly, life meets me differently now because I meet myself differently. So maybe you're listening to this and laughing a little at the version of you that rushed everything, that thought stress was normal, that believed doing more meant being more. If that's you, you're not wrong. You were just doing the best you could with what you knew then. And if you're starting to slow down now, starting to soften and choose peace, that's growth, it's wisdom, and that's becoming. And if you reach this far into this episode, take a second and ask yourself, where am I still rushing? And what will soften if I slow down just a little? And tell me, what's something you used to do constantly that now makes you laugh? Message me on Instagram, Unfiltered Steph Podcast, or you can just comment below. And if you dare, share this episode with someone who's learning how to live with more ease. Until next time, stay true, stay raw, and remember, life doesn't come with a filter.